In 2019, I stood on the side of a road twirling a Metro PCS by T-Mobile sign for $20 an hour. In my earbuds was The Science of Getting Rich. I was following the book's instructions, trying to materialize wealth for myself. At that point, I had almost 10 years of personal development behind me. I had read the books, attended the seminars, journaled, taken the courses, prayed, and attempted multiple businesses. The results were $3,000 in revenue, a bankruptcy filing, and a twirling Metro PCS sign in my hand on the side of the road. This video is about what those years actually taught me. And if you just failed at the thing you thought was going to set you free financially, this video is for you. The story starts in 2012. I was in college when an accident fractured my left femur. I withdrew from school for a semester and spent 6 months, in rehab learning to walk again. During that time, I couldn't go anywhere. I spent 8 hours a day laying in bed, meditating on questions I had never stopped to ask. Like, why am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose on earth? Why did I choose this path? I went into that bed one person and came out another. My faith, my mindset, my discipline, my ambition, my identity, and my tolerance for pain all changed during those 6 months. During that season, I decided I would rather die than give up. That was a real decision, and there was never going to be a quitting point. My friends noticed. A high school friend told me I was in a phase and I would get back to the real Charles soon. He was half right. I had changed, but it took 10 more years almost and a bankruptcy to learn the real lesson. Belief was never my problem. Skills were. When I got out of that bed, I went all in on personal development. I read The Science of Getting Rich. I read The Magic of Thinking Big. I read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, amongst several other huge personal development books. I attended the Millionaire Mastermind seminar and learned how to make money running ClickBank ads on Yahoo and Bing. I journaled. I prayed. I watched hundreds of hours of YouTube videos. I took courses. I networked. I built products. I tried businesses. I did everything the personal development world tells you to do. I believed in my mind I would make $100 million. I believed I would be able to do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, however I wanted, with whomever I wanted. The people around me did not believe it. A friend told me I was in a phase, and other friends said I had changed and called my ideas completely unrealistic. I kept going anyway, though, because I believed the work I was doing was moving me forward. It wasn't. Exactly. Reading books and going to seminars felt like progress, and it was mentally. But learning about success without building any of the skills that produce it, that's what I was doing. I spent years building belief and almost zero skills. Nobody pays you for belief. You can believe anything is possible and still lack the skills to make it happen. That was me. I just didn't know it yet. Between 2012 and 2019, I tried to make entrepreneurship work with all that I had. I started a chiropractor marketing agency and made $3,000 the entire year. I tried a life coaching business. I tried Shopify drop shipping. I tried Mob. I tried multi-level marketing. I tried everything you can imagine, and I failed at all of them. My issue was I kept spending money before I had it, believing it was going to come, and it never came. Eventually, I could not keep up with my debt. I was $36,000 in credit card debt. I had two car notes on two different cars that both broke down. And I had another $36,000 in student loans. I was considering filing for bankruptcy. And when I was thinking about filing, I believed what a failure I have become. 10 years of personal development, and all I had was a bankruptcy to show for it. Then I talked with my grandmother. She sat me down and told me, son, white men like Donald Trump file for bankruptcy all the time and nothing happens to them. They move on to the next thing as if nothing ever happened. If they can do it, what's stopping you? Why can't you do it too? After that conversation, I filed for bankruptcy. And it stopped being proof that I was a failure. It became a strategic decision that protected my financial future. How you see your future and your failures determine what you do next. That new perspective didn't pay the bills, though. I ended up on the side of the road with a sign earning $20 an hour, listening to a book about getting rich. Standing there, I had to decide what those 10 years meant. Either personal development was a lie, or I had been doing it all wrong. It was neither. The belief was real. The principles were real. What was missing was my faith in action, which was works. Faith without works is dead. This is what James says in the scripture. You cannot pray yourself into a success that you have not built the practical skills to achieve or sustain. It just won't happen. I had the faith. I did not have the works or the skills. After bankruptcy, I started driving Lyft. There was no pride in it. I just needed to keep moving forward. I drove 7 days a week like it was a job. 4 hours every morning, I was picking people up going to work, taking them to work, and I was picking students up, taking them to school. And then 4 hours every evening, I would pick those same students up from school, taking them home, and pick different people up from work, taking them home. And all night on Friday and Saturday nights until 3 or 4 in the morning, taking people to and from the club. This time, I stopped trying to attract outcomes and started closing the gaps. Between you and any goal that you have are gaps. There are gaps in knowledge, gaps in skill, gaps in opportunity, gaps in desire, gaps in the will to see things through to the very end. The reason you don't have what you want is that you have gaps that you haven't closed yet. Close those gaps and the goal becomes reachable. I closed mine and started closing mine one at a time. I learned consultative selling. I learned lead generation. I learned social media marketing. I learned how to budget my finances using the Every Dollar app, and I still use that same method today. For the first time in my life, I was not consuming ideas about money. I was building skills with my money. After the bankruptcy, I bought a 2013 Hyundai Elantra for $7,500 in cash. It was literally all of my money, and it was worth every dollar. That purchase was not about the transportation itself. It was a new way of life for me, for my business, and my finances. It was my first step forward toward financial independence after bankruptcy. And it was the first real proof that my finances were turning around. For 10 years, I chased $100 million. Crazy. And I had nothing to show for it. Then I saved 7,500 real dollars, and that changed everything. Small wins matter more than big dreams that never happen. Those years as a single man built things in me that money never could, though. They built tenacity. They built a hope that does not surrender. They built the habit of always moving forward no matter what the current season looks like. The skills produce results. Using what I learned, I got a job in corporate America, and I saved $85,000 in about 2 years. The same man who filed for bankruptcy saved $85,000 because he was able to close those gaps. I always felt like I was born to have a wife and kids. I met my wife after that turnaround when I was finally had something real to offer. We're married now and we have children. Today, I still work in corporate America. It pays the bills and I thank God for it. Marriage and family meant starting over in a lot of ways, and this channel is me documenting that next chapter. Hope deferred makes the heart sick. That verse describes my emotional feelings over that 10-year time span. But a dream fulfilled is a tree of life. This channel is about getting to that second half. If you're watching this, you probably just failed at something you thought was going to be your thing. You're financially unstable. You're trying to get ahead and struggling to figure it out. You can rebuild from where you are, not from where you're supposed to be. The one thing stopping you from achievement is you. The knowledge, skills, opportunity, and desire you have not built yet, and the will to see it through to the very end. Those are gaps, and gaps can be closed. I closed mine after bankruptcy, driving Lyft for hours in the mornings and 4 hours at night. Everything on this channel comes from what I've actually lived, not from therapy or theory. If you're rebuilding, subscribe. Comment below and tell me what you just lost. I'll read every one.